The leaders of the Pacific Islands Forum have been urged to show leadership on the issue of climate change. The Marshall Islands government arranged for a panel of experts on climate matters to set the scene for a new Pacific statement to be known as the Majuro Declaration. Pacific correspondent Sean Dorney is there.
The minister responsible for climate change and energy issues in the Marshall Islands government set the scene for the expert panel, saying some Pacific nations were the most threatened.
3 of the 4 most vulnerable countries are present this week in Majuro. It is a proper setting and an appropriate time to talk reality.
The panel attracted a keen audience and they were told just what the science says.
We see that the sea level has already risen by 20 centimetres since 1850. So the total sea level rise to come by 2100 is between 50 and 200 centimetres.
The Director-General of the International Renewable Energy Agency urged Pacific countries to work together.
That the cost you are paying for solar PV is much higher than anywhere else in the world that we have seen, and we cannot understand why this should be the case.
Pacific leaders were clearly frustrated.
In spite of the many chances of financing, we haven't seen any major adaptation projects on the ground to work to building the resilience of communities.
One of the things that we found was that we just didn't have the capacity. That was the conclusion I reached. We just didn't have the capacity to implement many of the projects that have already been approved and funding has been provided.
Climate change is likely to dominate this forum meeting in one of the lowest lying nations on earth. Sean Dorney, ABC News, Majuro.